Okay, let's see. I've made a video on Austin FC, I've made a video on St. Louis, and I even talked a little bit about Inter Miami in my Rest in Peace Miami Fusion video. Now, which expansion team am I missing? Oh, that's right. Nashville SC. Okay, before I get started, if you're an MLS fan or just curious to find out more about the league, remember to subscribe and let me know what you want to see a video about. Now, I don't think I'm wrong by saying this, but out of all the expansion teams coming into MLS in the near future, Nashville is the one with the least amount of hype surrounding it. Like, seriously, does anyone know what's going on with Nashville? Does everyone realize that they start playing MLS next season? Hell, do they realize they start playing MLS next season? I don't want to sound like a hater, but when you look at Inter Miami, you see that they've signed 3 promising South Americans, all under the age of 20. And as we've seen the last 5 years or so, young South Americans, they have a pretty good track record in MLS. Also, you have David Beckham flying over to Barcelona to try and get Messi to come play for them. For the record, I don't think it's going to happen. I think Messi is going to retire as a member of Barcelona, but jeez. Talk about swinging for the fences. And even if they don't get Messi, it looks like they're still going to sign David Silva. So, yeah, not too shabby, Miami. You see, Inter Miami is going big. They remind me a lot of LAFC when they were getting started, which, based off how this season is going, it's probably a good model to follow. And while all of this is going on, it's kind of easy to forget there's another expansion team coming next season. That's not to say that Nashville is doing nothing. I mean, they've got a head coach already in Gary Smith, who's okay. I mean, he won an MLS Cup in 2010 with the Colorado Rapids, but hasn't really done anything else. And as of the making of this video, they do have more players signed than Miami. David Beckham, who, as a former Fire guy, I'll always have a sweet spot for. Annabelle Godoy, who's been with the Earthquakes for a while. USL guys like Cameron Lancaster and Daniel Rios. Rios, by the way, doing pretty well this season. Double-digit goals for Nashville and USL. Look out for him next year. They've got Randall Leal coming over from Saprissa, and Costa Ricans. They've had mixed success with MLS, so look out for that. And their biggest signing so far, first ever designated player, German midfielder Hani Mukhtar, which I gotta admit, I'm really excited to see him in MLS. But yet, no one is talking about them. I mean, when's the last time Nashville was featured on the front page of MLSsoccer.com? I don't remember, like a month ago, maybe? Meanwhile, I swear, Miami is on there every day. And that's just weird to me, because if you remember, in 2017, there were 4 cities vying for 2 expansion slots: Cincinnati, Sacramento, Detroit, and Nashville. Everyone kind of expected Cincy and Sacramento, and in fact, Nashville was kind of seen as an afterthought. But as it turned out, it was Nashville who earned the first expansion spot. You would think MLS would want to pump them up as much as possible, if nothing else, than to just convince fans who thought that expansion spot should have gone to Sacramento. But it's like, since that announcement, MLS has been eerily quiet on Nashville. Okay, now let's just admit that some of it is just because of the market. I mean, people are going to be interested in Miami because it's Miami, and because of David Beckham and everything else. And Austin FC, I mean, people are still interested in the storyline there of Precourt and how the crew almost moved there. And St. Louis, well, they were just announced, so yeah, it's natural that people are still going to be talking about them. And because of their history, that this has been such a long time coming, you have those 3 expansion teams, and then you kind of have Nashville, who are just sort of there. Now, Nashville is an awesome city. I have been there multiple times, for competing with my college track team there to going to a bachelor party there. Nashville, trust me, it's a good time, and I can't stress this enough. It is a fun city. But it's not viewed in the same light as a Los Angeles or a New York or even Miami. I mean, let's face it, someone like Zlatan is not going to go and play for Nashville. No offense. But that's okay, because Sporting Kansas City, they've done pretty well for themselves, despite not playing in the biggest city. Nashville can be like Sporting Kansas City. They can make it work. But I do have my concerns. Nashville is building a 30,000 seat stadium. Considering most soccer specific stadiums in this league are between 18 to 25,000 seats, 30K is pretty ambitious. But that won't be completed until 2022. In the meantime, they'll have to play their games at Nissan Stadium, where the constantly 9-7 Tennessee Titans play. Yeah, another NFL stadium. Hey, if it looks like Atlanta or Seattle, great, bring it on. But if it looks like New England, where the entire upper bowl is empty, then not so great. Perhaps I'd have more enthusiasm about this if Nashville SC didn't currently have an average attendance of just over 7,000. Yikes. Now, okay, that is in USL, and Nashville SC is going to gain a lot of fans when they eventually make the move to MLS, but enough fans to fill up a 30,000 seat stadium consistently? I'm not sure. Now, one thing Nashville has going for them, I think, are their owners. Ziggy Wilf is the chairman for NFL's Minnesota Vikings, and he helped bring the Vikings a new stadium a couple years back. And back before Minnesota United was a thing, Wilf tried to get Minnesota an expansion team. Now, it didn't work out, but this is a guy who has believed in MLS for years. Ziggy Wilf, Mark Wilf, Leonard Wilf, and John Ingram, the owners of Nashville. You know what they all have in common? They're all billionaires. So if they pump out money to the youth academy team, splash some cash with marketing and player transfers, this could work. Nashville SC can absolutely be big time. But that's if they spend the money. Too many owners in this league don't do that. You want to be like Atlanta, you better be willing to spend like Atlanta. If you don't spend the money, yeah, that happens. I don't know what's going to happen with Nashville SC. If I was forced to make a prediction, honestly, I would say Nashville will probably struggle more than the other MLS expansion teams. I see Miami just being like immediately successful, both on and off the field. I really see a lot of similarities with them and LAFC. With Nashville, I see them more as like FC Cincinnati with not as many fans. I just don't see them attracting the star power on the field. And unless they really start making moves this offseason, I think their first year will be a tough one. And I think it's going to take a little more time than usual to build up the supporters. But as we've seen with the Nashville Predators, you build a strong team, the fans will come. If they develop a killer academy and the team becomes regular postseason contenders, who knows what the potential of this team is? Or maybe I'm completely wrong, and the team will sell out every game from the beginning and become the next big thing right away. I mean, when Atlanta was announced, I wasn't sure they would be a good fit for MLS. I looked at the Atlanta Hawks, I looked at the Atlanta Braves, I thought they'd be playing in an empty stadium. Yeah, turns out I was a little wrong about that. But what do you think? Nashville SC, what are your expectations? I would love to hear what you think. And thanks for watching.